So hey guys, how's it going? Been a long time, or at least it feels like a long time, whatever you want to kind of call that. It's been 4 months since I started a lot of videotaping for this project, building a back rack for my pickup truck. Oh my gosh. With life, if you're a parent like me, a lot of things. Marching band, volleyball, football, we had playoffs. We're now in the basketball season. But I believe it was about October that I started this project, and it is now beginning of January, and just now finishing up with this and doing this video. I kind of didn't like my other videos that I had talking. Not the greatest talker in the world. Laugh all you want, haha. So, got the back rack done. You see it the very first photo. I have some other photos, so I'm going to show you the process through a lot of time lapse, and there'll be some videos of me talking here and there throughout, and what I did. I have some explanations and whatnot. I haven't done all the editing yet, but as soon as I get all the editing done, it's going on YouTube immediately. Just had a lot of things. I've got more videos and things that I've done that I got to get edited and on YouTube as well. It's a lot of different projects. I had one that I actually completely deleted because I didn't personally fix the vehicle. I just kept going through, finding the problems, and then in the end I decided, since it's a company vehicle, to just have another mechanic actually go ahead and do it because I didn't have the time and space to rip a motor clean out. I'll warn you now, I don't like Hemis that well. And the Hemi Tech got this truck. It was my personal work truck, and now it's moved on to another technician. And they just were annoyed really bad by the Hemi Tech. It kept getting worse and worse, and sure enough, the lifter blew up. The needle bearings go out, seized the roller lifter, and ate the cam on that one. But anyhow, without further ado, we'll get you going. You get to see this process that took me 4 full months to do, which in reality, it's one of those you should have been able to do in just a couple weekends. The wiring alone was kind of a pain. I have the full light setup on my light bar. I've got to get a new, on the roll bar, back rack, I've got to get a new light bar for the top. After everything was said and done, I didn't like where I'd have to put the upright posts that keep boards and ladders from moving around. Didn't like where I'd have to put them to make that light bar work. It was a 52-inch curved, and so when I put it on, it was an inch too short, and there was nothing I could do about it. I wanted it to aesthetically please me, not just get a light bar to fit. So I actually got lucky, sold that light bar. I'm going to get another one, probably just put a straight on it. Might do a curved, I'm not sure yet. We'll see in the future, but it's all wired for it, so it'll be basically bolt her on and get going. In the videos you might see and want to pick at some of my bolts that I used. I will be exchanging out some bolts on there. For right now, I've got just the 2 bolts and then self-tapping screws in place. I'm going to do some more bolting for it. There is extra reinforcement, which I believe is in one of the videos. So anybody who thinks, hey, it's like this is actually work very well, those beds, and the forward bed does not hold that much weight. If you do this, please consider putting in at the extra reinforcement under a bed liner or something like that. I have the plastic bed liner, so it hides everything real well. You actually want that. These beds are not good on the Ford to go throwing on a big old truck toolbox or a back rack that you actually use. I'm going to use mine. It's not for looks. It is going to be so I could throw some ladders up there, so I could put my fishing rods, whatever. It's not just a play toy to look really cool driving down the road. If you're going to use it, that kind of weight, you're going to put a truck box. I got a truck box over here that I've got to sell. These trucks, that's actually what destroyed my bed as I started getting the cracking and everything from the extra weight. And you might look up some other YouTube videos where people will talk about this. There'll be some certain stress cracking that goes on. So highly consider that reinforcing that. I have 4 different bars that are actually reinforcing mine. So I'm really excited about this. It's awesome. I love my back rack that I built, and hope to do some more projects in the future. I've got a Florida trip Illinois to Florida, and Disney World. Good old Disney World. Spending $3,000 and standing in line for 6 hours. It's great. The Avatar, which if you guys haven't seen, you know, that's a big thing, and actually I was highly impressed with that. Those will be videos coming up. If you enjoy these kind of videos, please like and subscribe. Help me out here. Got to feed my kids. You know, they're tired of rice and beans. So you guys have a good day. Talk to you later. That straight to a certain degree. It really worked out well. I was worried about it getting all twisted and everything, and I don't know if the time lapse will show, you know, me walking on it, even with the welds on there, which could throw you off a little bit. But this is a flat garage. This is a very small garage. God, I can't wait to get my shop built. You want to put it on flat concrete, kind of walk around. And I am by no means an expert or anything. You guys are probably laughing at my setups, the saws I'm using, because I sold my chop saw. I'd stopped metalworking for quite a few years, and actually probably hadn't done much metalworking in probably 10 years since I sold off a lot of my stuff. But the main thing I kept was my big Hobart. Absolutely love my welder. The greatest thing ever. This is the worst shop ever, but I guess it's better than nothing. I could be out in the driveway. So this is just redneck invention here. Scrap metal that I've kept around for years and try and make this to what I want. So I'm going to play around, put this on the truck, kind of size it up. I've still got finish those welds. I don't know if I'm going to grind anything just yet. I think next up is, as long as everything's lined up the way I want it to, I've got some of the flat steel. I have to go buy a couple pieces. I've got some of the square tubes where they're going to run right here in the middle to attach the expanded metal to. Backside that'll face the cab, so I'll leave my ugly little spot welds won't be too visible. Dark. It's getting close. So yeah, you guys get to see a drastic mistake. Never had this happen before. I'm still in awe about it. It's been about a day or so, maybe 2 days, that I've been having to think about what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll go with the other direction that I wanted to go in the first place, which was to not have such long bed rails, just enough for about the distance of toolbox, about 20-24 inches. Come back on the bed itself to help support the back rack. And I went ahead and, if you've been watching this video, I tried to do a whole entire bed rail, go all the way back, and kind of beef up the Ford's issue with a little bit of rusting. I don't know. Maybe I had the welder too high. The metal bent, and I'll show you here in a second. It's insane. I never had this happen before. It's 1/8 inch thick, mild steel. Done thousands of projects. I'm not a professional by any means. Love your guys' comments. If you get to this part and you're watching, give me some ideas of what you guys do. Try to keep this in check when you're welding. I went and spot welded both sides and then did my longer runs, and I still did 20-30 inches at a time and would stop and continue on, and it still arced it. It's crazy. So this should be, I was expecting a little bit. I had it braced, so the top's about 1/4 inch out. No big deal. 1/4 inch, that's to be expected. It's thin enough metal, no problem. And you get down to the side here. I don't know, I'm trying to look through the viewfinder and see. You can see that it arced 4-inch wide steel. I checked it with the level on the other side. I haven't checked this yet. Let's see what the deflection is. Huge. I've never had this happen. I know aluminum's horrible. I'm not an aluminum welder. I've never even tried welding aluminum. That's a full inch. This was my original plan. Because of the tonneau cover, I can't run this 1-inch square steel all the way to the back. It's tight, like kind of, it's for looks and a tie down. but you know, it's full. That's 1/8" box tubing. And that's going to be attached to the back rack there. Part of my original idea was it was going to end just shortly after. And that also makes it a heck of a lot easier for me to handle by myself. And I've got 2 strong. You didn't see that. Other people have seen this before and maybe have some ideas what to do to keep that from happening, or just not sure. That was straight as an arrow, and after welding, it heated up enough to bend it. It's crazy. So as you can see, my long bed rails are not going to be here. I had to go ahead and cut those. Too much of a curve. The 20-ton press would not bend them back. So I'm going with short rails for the support. And then you'll see my 1" will come here and down. Right now I have this all braced. I'm going to tack everything in place. And then I'll take it off and do more of my welding. I still have the top parts that I'm going to put in. Alright, we're to the point. I've got it primered. And yes, start laughing now. This is white primer, not your normal gray or red. This stuff was on sale. It's Rust-Oleum white primer. It is, just flipped it and did this side. The other side, been drying all day long and it's still tacky as can be. And it's actually pretty shiny. I don't even know what to think. But it's kind of different. It'll give a nice contrast, so I know I've got everything with the final coat. So that's kind of, when I saw it, it was $3 cheaper a quart than your normal Rust-Oleum primer. So I just went ahead and got it. Definitely lays on thick. It's just shiny. Most primers aren't shiny like this, but I don't know if you, I can't really tell that it's shiny in the video on the viewfinder. But anyway, I am kind of lost on the video. I think I had another video the same way. It has just taken me so long to get this done between all my projects, work, and everything else. So as I'm getting done with this, then I'll turn around and get on the computer and start editing this down. It'll seem like pretty quick for you guys, but this has literally been 6 weeks at least, something like that. So kind of the specs, I'll let my son kind of help me choose. So I had the lights. See with the tip of my finger, I've got reverse lights they'll be putting in. Those will be ran off an auxiliary switch. They won't come on with reverse lights because they're going, you know, this is up in the air. This will be extra work lights. They're really nice floodlights. I'll show you real quick. I got these off eBay. They're definitely an awesome floodlight. And if anybody wants the link to this, I can put it in. We'll try to remember to do that. If not, hey, message me. I'll throw it in. Cheap, I think $34 for 2 of these as a pair, and they are super, super bright. Definitely a floodlight. I want them on the front of my truck, but they're definitely one that has to be put into a recess because it needs something going over the top of it to keep from blinding oncoming drivers. And I think then it would do a really good job of just lighting the whole entire road right in front of the vehicle up, but it's got to have something over the top of it. You'll blind everybody. Like if someone comes up behind me with their brights on and just wants to be an idiot, I could flip these on, I guarantee they're not going to see a thing. No, that's okay. Got her all on. Don't mind the mess. Take recycling. Gas can from snow blown. But it is all on. And done. I have a couple more bolts I have to replace. But I want to beef it up just a little bit. Underneath the bed liner there is posts that go down to the frame. So anyone wanting to comment that about strength or integrity, no, this is not just attached to the bed there is actual posts that run from this corner and down to the frame, and then I also have straight line posts go down. 2 of those were already in to strengthen the bed, since it's a 4, you know, the beds are crappy. And if we wait for some dark, and we'll do some lights. Ready? And there we go. Got my helper with me. And we go for left turn signal, Austin. Right. Okay. Brakes. Alright, auxiliary number 3. And that's the big boy. Wow. So, that is it. Wrap this up finally. So I will try to get this video edited, let you guys see it. You guys do me a big favor and like and subscribe. If you like these kind of videos, I'll keep showing them. Just takes me a lot of editing, and want to know if it's worth my time. I'll keep going at it. You guys have a good night. Later.